Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your college basketball top 25 video for this Saturday, February the 3rd, and actually, correction, top weekend video for Saturday and Sunday because I've got a February 4th game for you. In fact, we shouldn't even call this the top 25 video. We should call it the top 10 video because for the first time, I believe, in history, we have four, count them, four head-to-head top 10 matchups in the same weekend. It's almost impossible to do any better. There's only five matchups possible in the top 10, and we've got four of them going tonight on this Saturday and Sunday. We got a top six matchup on Sunday. I'm going to get that as a little bonus coverage, but let's get to those four big matchups for this Saturday. And once again, three of those four as well are top 10 opponents playing each other. So it's a huge and deep college card. It's funny, when I was first going over the lineup for this weekend, I looked and I was getting about halfway through the schedule and there were no head-to-head top 25 matchups. I'm thinking, wow, might be a pretty light card. And then boom, 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 boom. They all started coming out. We have Kansas and Houston. We have UNC, Duke. We're going to cover all of them. But let's start with that first game at 4 o'clock Eastern. All the other games were later on the evening card. So you have plenty of time if you're joining us into the afternoon, evening here on Saturday. And once again, I'm going to get to that Sunday Purdue-Wisconsin game as an added bonus at the end of the video. But let's start off with the first game at 4 o'clock Eastern this Saturday. You don't have to wait long for one of the best matchups of the season, and that's two top 10 teams playing each other as we have Houston at Kansas. And yes, it's technically a Big 12 conference game, don't forget, because Houston's playing their first full season in the Big 12. Number 4, Houston at number 8, Kansas, 4 o'clock Eastern, Saturday afternoon on ESPN. As we check the Wager Talk live odds screen, I'm doing this video, by the way, late Friday night. I was going to do it Friday afternoon, but I wanted to wait until the odds came out at all the major sports books, had a little movement, so I could give you that update as well as we head into Saturday morning. Houston was about a 2.5-point road favorite, and now the line is 1.5 late Friday night. The total 133.5 has been bet up to 134. So we have seen a little bit of money come in on Houston, and it's hard to disagree with that. We got them as a rare road home underdog, rather, on a very strong home court. 17-4 overall, but more importantly, 11-0 at home this season, and we're getting them now as a home dog. One thing that does concern you, of course, with Houston against Kansas is that Kansas is a slow-down half-court team. Houston prefers to play more tempo. However, I still think this is a class game in which both teams are Class A teams. We're getting a home dog on an undefeated court. I like the line value here with Kansas. Houston, by the way, is the number one rated efficient defense in the country, and they're actually 16th on offense. You might think Kansas would have the edge, but Kansas 24th and 22nd overall in those rankings. If you look at some raw power rankings, you would have Houston as even a bigger favorite. But I think you got to throw a lot of those numbers out the door. I look for a Class A effort from the Houston Cougars and from the Kansas Jayhawks, but I think Kansas, with that strong home court, gets it done. And keep in mind, things kind of fell apart for Kansas a little bit a few weeks ago when they lost as a road favorite at Central Florida, another new member of the Big 12. They've gone just 4-3 their last 7 overall, but this is a statement game for the Jayhawks, and I think there's some value with them as a home dog at 4 o'clock Eastern. All right, next game on the card goes at 6:30 Eastern, also on ESPN, and that's number 7, Duke, at number 3, North Carolina. Two top 7 teams playing, combined 33-8 this season. Both teams do have 4 losses, but they've played a tough schedule, and I think in this situation, the home team, North Carolina, has the edge for a couple reasons. First of all, they're coming off a loss. Whenever I get a quality Class A team at home off a loss, they always make my short list, and it wasn't a good loss. They lost to Georgia Tech as an 8.5-point road favorite, but definitely had a little bit of a look ahead here towards this game against Duke. And that was a 1-point loss at Georgia Tech. In fact, they're coming off back-to-back road games. But keep in mind, they were red hot before that loss at Georgia Tech. They had won 10 straight and gone 9-1 against the spread their previous 10, the hottest point spread team in the country until earlier this week. And one thing about North Carolina, both teams play fast. Both teams like tempo. Both teams are good offensively. But North Carolina holds a substantial edge on defense. And this ain't your daddy's North Carolina, because North Carolina's always been known for great offense, sometimes questionable D. Well, right now, defensive efficiency ratings, North Carolina is the 4th best defense in the country this year. And I think that's something that's been going under the radar. And the fact that they went 9-1 against the spread until that recent loss against Georgia Tech tells me they are flying under the radar. I look for North Carolina to bounce back here at home. And by the way, speaking of the defensive efficiency rating, they've now gone 8-1 under their last 9 games. So there's definitely been some value with North Carolina and the under in recent weeks. And I think that North Carolina value continues here at home on Saturday evening at 6:30 Eastern. Checking the Wager Talk live odds screen here late Friday night. We'll see North Carolina open as high as a 5-point favorite. It's been bet down to 4.5, even 4 now. So the money's actually coming in on Duke, but I disagree with that move. Total's been holding steady around 151, 152 range. All right, another game in the top 25 here for this Saturday evening is another top 20 matchup, actually. Number 12, Iowa State, and number 18, Baylor at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 national TV. Let's check the odds on this game first, and we'll dig into the matchup. Baylor opened as about a 3-point favorite, and that line's held steady all of Friday evening here into Saturday, early Saturday morning. Total, however, has seen some money coming in the under. Opened 146.5, now down to 142.5. So the early sharp money has been on the under in this game between Iowa State and Baylor. This is a contrast of two styles. Baylor, the fourth most efficient offense in the country. Iowa State, though, the fifth best defense in the country, just 49th on offense, though. Baylor, 80th on defense. So it's strength versus strength. Baylor's strong offense against Iowa State's strong defense. Baylor, surprisingly, plays at a much slower tempo, almost 100 and some points slower in the overall ratings than Iowa State, 270 versus 120. And that's surprising because you would think the better defensive team would be the slower half-court team, but that's actually Baylor. And home teams normally can dictate the tempo. So I do think the tempo will be a little slower in this game, and that's probably one of the reasons we have seen some sharp money coming in the under in this game. It's also not Baylor's home court. It's in Waco, but it's not their true home court. So that might take a little bit of luster off an offense that's shooting 85 points a game, 40% from three. I think that's another reason we've seen a little bit of money coming in the under in this game between Baylor and Iowa State. Once again, that's at 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. All right, going to look at another game for Saturday night in the SEC between Tennessee and Kentucky. Also going to give you an advanced look at the Purdue-Wisconsin game for this Sunday. But just a quick reminder, now is a great time to be playing college and pro basketball. There's a couple reasons why. First of all, there's only one football game remaining, and that's the Super Bowl in over a week from now. So if you're going to make money on a daily and weekly basis for the next several months, it's basketball. It's that simple, college and pro hoops. And no one's off to a better start than I am. In fact, going back to the start of the college and pro basketball seasons back in early October this year, I'm ranked number one in units, win percentage, return on investment. We've won over 67 units to start the season. In fact, 65 and 44, 60% start to college and pro hoops, already up 21 games above 500. And we're only a few months in. We've got plenty more to go. A couple months to go. We've got March Madness around the corner of college hoops. 4 to 5 months left in the NBA playoffs around the corner in a few months. Great time to try out basketball. And if you want to try it out right now, I've got a 7-day special at a discounted price, a 35% discount off the normal single price for NBA and college hoops each. You get a 7-day combo, college and pro basketball, right now on my page. No promo code needed for just $89. Go to my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. It's a great way to try out a 7-day college and pro hoops package. And don't forget, last Saturday was the first Saturday with no football since August. What did I do? Perfect 3-0 sweep in basketball. Last Saturday, all three were in college hoops. I've got a strong lineup this Saturday as well. I love this Saturday card, February the 3rd. We went 3-0 last Saturday, looking to sweep the board again. Why not get a 7-day and night sampler for just $89 in college and pro hoops? Or if you're serious about winning consistently all year long, the Super Bowl to Super Bowl special is available now. It starts next week and takes you through the following Sunday, February 9th, 2025. Super Bowl 58 all the way to Super Bowl 59. College and pro football, college and pro basketball, Major League Baseball. But here's the bonus. If you sign up right now, you get the next week for free. You don't have to wait until next Super Bowl Sunday. You sign up now, you get the next 8 days and nights included for free. So why delay? It's a great offer, and it works out to just over $3 a day. So if you're serious about making money, that Super Bowl to Super Bowl special with the next 8 days for free is the best option. However, if you want to try things out for just a week, that 7-day sampler for basketball is also available for the new clients. I know some of you are just joining us. Either way, no promo code needed. Check it out on my page along with daily free plays. Check out those free plays, including Saturdays. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at the nightcap here for Saturday. Another top 10 matchup. It's number 5 Tennessee against number 10 Kentucky, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN National TV once again. Let's check the Wager Talk live odds screen. We'll see that Tennessee open is about a 1.5-point favorite, and that's where it's held steady. Kentucky, kind of like Kansas, a rare home underdog, and the total in this one has been around 160. Very high total considering Tennessee is the second-ranked defense in the country, and it's an eerie similarity here. We got Houston as a road favorite at Kansas, Tennessee as a road favorite at Kentucky. Houston and Tennessee, the number 1 and number 2 adjusted defensive efficiency rating teams in the nation out of 362 Division I teams. Yet this is a really high total for having the second best defensive team in the country. And the reason is because of tempo. Tennessee, very good defensively, but they still play in the top 100 tempos of all the teams in the nation. And of course, Kentucky's never afraid to run. In fact, they're the 14th fastest team in the country this year, and they're top 10 offensively efficiency. So we got that strong Kentucky offense, fast pace against a good Tennessee defense, but Tennessee likes to play fast as well. And this total reflects that around the 160 range. I will say last year, these two teams played twice, January and February a year ago, and the games landed 119 and 120, and both totals were one around 132. Now it's 160. So this is a pretty big adjustment, and I wouldn't be shocked to see a little bit of sharp money maybe coming in the under by Saturday night, but we'll see what they move. So far, this line has held steady around that 160 and a half range, and there's been very little movement on the side either. Tennessee currently a 1.5 point road favorite. As far as the side in this game, Kentucky 10-2 straight up at home, really good offensive team, and I think if they are able to push that tempo, it might enable them to break down that really strong Tennessee defense. And Kentucky also coming in here off a high-scoring loss against Florida, 94-91, just a few nights ago on Wednesday. Should have them fully focused here on Saturday night. All right, those are your four games, your four top 25 matchups, including three top 10 matchups for Saturday. But the party doesn't end. On Sunday, we've got another great game, one of the best games of the season. At 1 o'clock Eastern Sunday on CBS, number 2 Purdue at number 6 Wisconsin. And now, of course, I'm doing this video late Friday night into Saturday. We don't have the Sunday lines yet, so no line up on this one. I do expect Purdue to be at least a basket or two road favorite, probably in that 3-point range or so based on my initial ratings. Wisconsin is another Class A team coming off a loss. They returned home off that loss at Nebraska on Thursday, 80-72 as a 1-point road favorite. But I don't mind that loss. Those of you that were with me Thursday at WagerTalk.com, my personal clients know my top play Thursday night, my one official best bet was on Nebraska as a 1-point home dog, and they cashed in that game. So I have no problem with that loss. I expected it, and I think this is a good bounce back spot most likely for Wisconsin. Also, they need to slow this game down. Wisconsin, 322nd slowest team in the country. Purdue is about middle of the pack. Purdue, though, the number one efficient rated offense in the nation this year. Wisconsin, surprisingly, is 7th best offense, but only 39th on defense. So Purdue is better offensively and defensively. The key is going to be if Wisconsin can slow the game down. Does look like a good bounce back spot once again after that loss on the road on Thursday. But what I want to point out in this game, big picture for you, and I mentioned it on Wager Talk today earlier this week when I broke down the Purdue Northwestern game also on Wednesday, is that Purdue continues to cash first half lines. I liked Purdue laying the double digits. They came up short in overtime, only won by 9. But I mentioned on Wager Talk today last Wednesday that you might want to consider putting part of the play on the first half line because Purdue continues to cover first halves and then blow the game line. In fact, it's the third time in a row against Northwestern that they failed to cover, but they covered the first half all 3 times the last couple seasons. And it happened again this past Wednesday. They were a 7.5 point first half favorite, and they were up by 8 at halftime, and then got outscored by 8 in the second half and had to go to overtime. Won by 9, didn't cover as a 13-point game favorite. I had my friend Tyler Cobb, who pointed this out to me last year, what Money in the Bank Purdue is as a first half play. He did some research for me the other day, and he said 10 of the last 11 games Purdue has covered the first half line. It's really an incredible run. Ralph Michaels, my colleague at WagerTalk.com, ran the numbers on Wednesday. Purdue, on average, is winning the first half the last year or so by over 12.5 points. They're only winning the games by about 16. The average first half line, once again, like it was the other night, around 7.5. So if you are looking at Purdue, I think the situation favors Wisconsin, but if you are looking at Purdue in any game going forward, you really want to consider putting part of that play, if not all of it, on the first half line because that's where they've been so strong. So if you're going to play Wisconsin here, I like the full game. You do not want them on the first half because that Purdue's been money in the bank on that 10-1 run. But once again, looks like a good setup for Wisconsin, though otherwise at home, strong home court off the loss with the slowdown half-court tempo. But wanted to point out that first half angle because it continues to cash with Purdue, and it's something you can keep in your handicapping toolbox for the rest of this season. Hey, hope you found this video useful. That's the point here, to give you a quick hitter on all the big matchups. We normally have maybe 2, 3, 4 top 25 matchups. Man, we have 5 of them this weekend, and 4 of the 5 are top 10 head-to-head matchups. It is honestly the deepest, best quality top 10 matchups we've ever had in college basketball in one weekend. 4 of them, historical weekend. Enjoy the games. Comment below in the YouTube comments. Let me know who you like this weekend in these top 10, top 25 matchups. and more importantly, some other games you like. Look, there's over 100 games this weekend, some under the radar best bets. Throw those in below with a little bit of analysis so we can learn and earn together here on Wager Talk TV. Thumbs up, like if you found the video useful. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts so you know when this top 25 video goes up every Saturday throughout the college basketball season. My weekday individual college and pro basketball free play videos, and also next week my Super Bowl 58 Fade the Public edition, along with a bonus prop report as well. So hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts. Don't forget also, if you want my official best bets for this Saturday and Sunday, I love this Saturday card. Last Saturday, a perfect 3-0 sweep in college hoops, and we're looking to do it again this Saturday. Football is no longer here on Saturdays. Let's make some money with college basketball, and I've been doing it all season. In fact, heading into Friday night, I was off to a 65-44 start, 60% ranked number one this season in college and pro basketball at WagerTalk.com, and up to over 67 units of profit already. If you want to try out a 7-day package, once again, this is the weekend to do so, as I've got a special offer right now. 7 days combined of both college and pro basketball best bets. Those number one best bets, same best bets that went 3-0 last Saturday for just $89. That's a special combo price. Or if you're ready to take a serious long-term investment, commitment, and winning consistently and saving money while you do so, consider that 1-year Super Bowl to Super Bowl special. And if you sign up right now, you get the next 8 days and nights for free. You don't have to wait until Super Bowl Sunday. It starts right now, and it takes you all the way through next year's Super Bowl on February 9th, 2025. Every football, baseball, and basketball play every day. Instant $800 discount the next 8 days for free. It works out just over $3 a day, just over $1 a play. No promo code needed. Check it out right now, along with daily free plays, including a free play for Saturday. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Follow me on Twitter as well, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on Twitter and X. And also post free plays throughout the week on Instagram. Follow me on IG. And be sure to stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV for more great college and pro football preview videos throughout the week, NFL Super Bowl prop reports, and a ton of great information. Enjoy the games this weekend. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on Wager Talk TV.